Hey guys, I have my April wrap-up for you guys today, and I'm sorry if I'm talking kind of quietly. My mom is sleeping downstairs, so yeah, I'm just being, like, I don't have to whisper, but I'm trying not to be at my normal volume, because this house, like, you can hear everything in this house. It's weird. But anyway, I know that this is late going up, and I'm sorry, I've had to re-record this several times because I can't seem to make it shorter than 11 minutes, and my YouTube app doesn't want to take that for some reason. But anyway, two of the books that I read this month I'm actually not going to say too much about because I have separate reviews on them. They are American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have a separate review of, and I think I gave that one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And the other one was Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I think I also gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. Loved that as well. So both of those videos are up on my channel, but I'm not going to talk about those really in this one. But yeah, I loved them, and if you want to know more of my thoughts, go watch those. And then I also read two Hercule Poirot novels by Agatha Christie, the first two in the series. The first one is Mysterious Ferret Styles, and I really enjoyed it. I've already seen pretty much every Poirot adaptation, and I really love the show, so that's why I started reading the books, and I own currently Mysterious Ferret Styles, and the downside to reading that one is that, I had to read that one first because it was the first in the series, but the downside to that is that I actually have seen that adaptation kind of recently, and I remembered who the killer was, so that was kind of unfortunate, but aside from that, I loved it. I actually really enjoyed reading, starting the series after I'd seen the adaptations, because since I've seen every single episode of Poirot, I just know these characters so well, so it was so cool reading the book for the first time, or reading one of the books for the first time, because certain things that Poirot did or Hastings said, I appreciated so much more, because I already know the characters so well. So I feel like somebody reading the book for the first time, or being introduced to it for the first time, could still appreciate it, but not as much as, someone who had already seen the shows. And I feel like that's one of my exceptions of a show that I would watch before I read the books. But I still really enjoyed the books. So Mysterious Ferret Styles, I think I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Murder on the Links, which is the second one, and I loved this even more, mostly because the book was so much better than the TV adaptation, which is really interesting because I loved the TV adaptation, but then when I read the book, and I saw how things were originally supposed to go, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better. Mainly, I feel like because the events in the book are so much happier, but I see why they changed it for the TV adaptation, because they wanted more drama, and I think for one or two of the changes, they felt like the story would flow better that way, which I kind of agree with, but I still like the book better because it was just happier. So that one I gave 5 out of 5 stars. That was amazing. And currently I'm actually listening to / reading the third, well, technically book, but it's actually a collection of short stories called Poirot Investigates. So I'll talk about that in my May wrap-up. But anyway, so those two were both really good reads. And then, oh gosh, what else did I read? I read volumes 2 and 3, or 2 and 3 of Saga, and 2 was my favorite of the 3 that I've read so far. I think I gave that one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I just really loved, that one has background information, or more of a backstory for Elena and Marco, and so I really liked that. And also Elena's dialogue. Elena, I knew immediately from reading the first one that she was my favorite character, and also now that I've read the second one, I'm really loving Marco as well. But Elena was my favorite character from the first one, and her dialogue, like some of her one-liners in Volume 2, are just spot on freaking wonderful. So that was great. So yeah, I really loved 2. Volume 3 was good, but like I liked the story progression, but I just found it a little more boring than Volume 2. So that one, I think I gave a 4 out of 5, which is what I gave the first volume as well. So I'm definitely still enjoying the story a lot, and I'm definitely going to continue on with the story, but I think I'm going to wait on Volume 4 because there's some other things that I want to read first, and that way I can at least find out when Volume 5 comes out, and then that way, like, I won't have that long to wait. And what else did I read? Oh, I read Monarch of the Glen, which is a short story or novella that is a sequel to American Gods, and it involves the main character in American Gods, Shadow Moon, going to Scotland. He had kind of been all over, but this particular part of the story is set in Scotland, and that was amazing. I think I gave that either a 4.5 or 5 stars. Did I say it was by Neil Gaiman? It's by Neil Gaiman, and it's in his collection, Fragile Things. And yeah, I gave it either a 4.5 or a 5 because it was great because it had Shadow in it, and he was my favorite character from American Gods. And also it was set in Scotland, which is my favorite country, so obviously I loved that. And then this one also had a little more of Neil Gaiman's eerie weirdness that I love so much, because American Gods definitely had his weirdness in it that I love so much, but it wasn't, I don't know, to me it was never like, I never got an eerie feeling from American Gods, and most of his other things I get this like eerie, creepy feeling, and I love it. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, it was just this kind of something weird and scary is going on kind of thing. So I loved that. So that was quite enjoyable. And oh, I got 160 pages into War and Peace, which I'm loving, but I'm way more behind than I wanted to be. I wanted to be through with Volume 1 by the end of April, and that did not happen. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm hoping to be finished with that by the end of June. So you will probably get a separate review of War and Peace in my June, like, I'll do a June wrap-up and then do a separate review of War and Peace, probably. And I think that's all the stuff that I read in April. I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. It was great. So yeah, and I'm not going to do a TBR for May because it's already several days into the month and my reading moods have just changed so much. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. But anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you guys are reading right now and what you thought of everything that I am reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.